Hello friends, a very exciting conversation today. We have Floh. Floh is the place that the coolest people in India find relationships in, right? And it's very different from your mainstream relationship dating website. And we're going to have a long chat and a very interesting chat with Siddharth. And I look forward to it. Without further ado, Siddharth, do you want to talk about what the business is about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me over. I think it's always great to meet interesting folks. So Floh is a company that four of us co-founded. It's a curated network of singles that meet in real life at awesome events. And the primary focus of the company is to get people to meet other interesting people in a safe and comfortable environment. We found that there are a lot of online options for people to meet each other, but at the end of the day, there is nothing to really determine if there is a chemistry between two individuals unless they actually meet, and they have to meet in a way that makes them feel comfortable, and they have to meet in a way that makes them feel safe. And the audience that we're talking about is very distinct. It's a niche market. It's not a mass market that we're after. These are people who are urban, educated, and independent. So they're people who are already accomplished in their careers. We've got doctors, we've got pilots, we've got entrepreneurs, a lot of entrepreneurs. We've got people who are design folks. We've got a lot of MNC kinds of folks. The age group is the median age group would be in the late 20s and early 30s, but the entire range is from 25 to 40. And that's the audience that we're really looking to address, because this audience of, as you correctly put it, the cool people, they actually don't see themselves necessarily identifying with matrimonial sites or dating sites that exist. And there is a reason for that. The reason is that there is no curation over there. There is no barrier. There is no gate. Anybody can join these sites. Whereas with us, it is by invitation only, and you've got to pass through a screening through us before you get into the network.
Very nice, and I think that would be a fantastic opportunity as it were. So, what is it about the India that's emerging today that you see as being conducive to future growth and the model being more and more successful as you go along?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we are the velocity of change. So change is always there, we know that. But the speed at which things are changing in India is unprecedented. And it's happening at multiple levels. It's primarily driven by the economics. So we've got a whole mass of people that are moving from lower middle class into middle class into upper middle class into affluent. And so there is definitely a certain set of the population that is creating a lot of wealth and capturing it. But the one thing that they don't have is time. And they're busy building their careers, they're busy trying to get ahead and make more money, but they're not able to actually meet other like-minded people. That is very, very evident, and it's only going to get exacerbated. If you take a city like Bangalore, to go from one end of the city to the other end will take you 2 hours minimum. So there are all of these stresses and pulls to people's time and their attention. And what's another fact that we're noticing is that social networking and the online experience is definitely growing, and people are spending a lot more time online. But what they're compromising then is actually in-person relationships.
Absolutely.
And so these are the two trends that we see emerging, which are generally lend themselves very well to our business in terms of we reduce the amount of time that it takes for people to meet other people. And of course, the most important thing is not that we reduce the time, but they're meeting the right people. And they're meeting the people that they would actually love to interact with, but are unable to access on their own. Because of the social curation that we do. So I think those are the two broad trends that I'm seeing in India. And I also see that people are becoming more independent. So if you take a random statistic, 90% of the marriages were perhaps arranged marriages 5 years ago. Today that number is probably 80 to 85%. Now the shift, while it is only 5 percentage points, is actually quite a significant number. And that is the audience that we're going after.
That's because of a billion people. Right?
That's because of a billion people. It's the law of large numbers, right? So there is a larger number of people that are more expressive, that have traveled well, that either have lived abroad or have been on assignments abroad. It's very different from, say, when you and I went to business school, where a foreign job might have been a minority of folks. So over here today, when you go to campuses, they're opting to stay in India by default. And unless there is something really spectacular, they don't want to leave the country. So people have that exposure, people have those options. Even if they haven't exercised the option to go there, they have the option. Today, a person in their early 30s, if they're educated and if they're well qualified and have worked for a few years, they have the option of living anywhere in the world. But they're all choosing to stay and live in India, in Bangalore. And I think that's another social trend that gets manifested in their expression very interesting, which is that they're seeking a cohort, if you will, of like-minded people, and they're also seeking great experiences to again express themselves.
It's almost like, rather than going into a website and finding 10 million hits or 10 million matches for one guy, it's almost like I want 50 or 100 people that are absolutely right for me.
Absolutely.
Almost,
rather than a shotgun approach where you go to every matrimonial site, the number one USP is meet millions of singles. At the end of the day, a guy wants to date one girl and a girl wants to date one guy.
So true.
And she doesn't want to spend Friday night, sifting through 1,000 profiles. She wants to spend Friday night with some guy asking her out for a drink or asking her out for a play and spending that evening with him. And rather than sitting in front of her computer trying to sift through a bunch of profiles that perhaps her mom has sent her.
I think that's a very cool way to put it. Obviously, he's extremely eloquent as well, as you can see. So brilliant. So talk about your personal journey. What got you into this?
Yeah, so I had worked earlier both in India and in the States with McKinsey in the States and with Microsoft both in India and the States. And after some time, I realized that there was no end to working for a large corporation, and so I decided that I was going to jump into to being an entrepreneur. And so my first venture is a company called Peak that's now into cloud computing. So that one, I was the founder and the CEO of Peak in India, along with a couple of co-founders. And then last year, some of my co-founders from that company and myself and a couple of new co-founders set up Floh. And it was to address the exact question that you asked me earlier, which is that this country is evolving so rapidly, and there is such an incredible opportunity over here that we'd be foolish not to go and pursue it. And also, from our personal perspectives, to be independent and to be in control of our own destiny rather than a wheel in a bigger cog. To be a wheel in a larger ecosystem. So,
very cool.
So I think the idea is to sort of grow. So the growth that we've seen in our individual capacities as co-founders has been perhaps an order of magnitude more than what I might have had in a larger company.
Best of luck, and I'm sure this will make Floh.
Thanks a lot, Raj.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me over. Yep, thank you.